our first ever worker, our first ever employee in India. And I'm not sure if any of you know, but I'm damn sure none of you would know of this, but SAT declined our offer. When we started, okay, yeah. So SAT basically declined our offer, and well, he had a reason. We didn't have no existence here, and it was a new fledgling, and SAT already had a family, so with that comes the additional responsibility and kind of lesser risk taking ability. And luckily for us, SAT reconsidered his decision after some more conversations took place, which involved US management, screen and all. And that's how SAT came around. I'm pretty sure not only us, but SAT also keenly relishes and cherishes the reversal of his decision to have come on board with us. Yeah. So basically, it was a bit of a bumpy beginning, and once SAT came around, that's when our operation started, and that was April 2010. So in a way, even though SAT reconsidered his decision and came to us, pretty surely there was still a fairly good degree of risk to come on to work for a company, and coming from a company which is already established. For us, SAT was working with FCS, and it was an established name here. So the risk that SAT took was appreciated, and that kind of enhances our thanksgiving to him for having taken that risk, which I'm pretty sure as of today that risk stands fully rewarded. So that's how it all began, and then things rolled on, and I'm definitely gonna say that when you start new operations, you try to hire the best people, right? But you only have a certain amount of control. As of today, Merit has a name in the town, so we have that power on the back of our on our back to kind of attract better people. But if you think about the beginnings, you really don't have that kind of you really don't have any kind of background, so to speak, to attract better talent. And luckily for us, SAT materialized, and it was a tremendous boost to the startup of operations, because obviously when any startup happens, more money is poured in, more money is spent than made, and SAT's arrival and the quickness of profit or placement, so to speak, of output from SAT was a tremendous boost to India operations being labeled successful in the initial stages. So SAT's first placement was at Navistar, and it was a very high GM. It was a high bill rate placement, and decent durations overall. It was a pretty strong GM, and that tremendously bolstered the confidence of myself, as well as US management, towards that. Okay, this India operations has the right seeds to become a success, and in a way, that success or the seeds of that success were born, were seeded by SAT's efforts at the get-go. So that happened, and then obviously a year or probably 9 months after April 2010, Caterpillar, are India's prime mover, or the account which has been the main piece of my own recruiting career with the Merit. Caterpillar came around beginning of 2000. Or I believe late third quarter of 2010. And the other thing that I kind of remember about SAT is his pace of learning, because before us he was an all out IT recruiter. Not only that, he was part of the sales team of FCS, which meant that he was not a full blown recruiter. He was kind of half and half. And with us, it was entirely recruiting. And coming to us, coming to a new company who's trying to get their feet established and taking on a fully on recruiting role and becoming successful so quickly was a tremendous achievement in itself. And then came Caterpillar, which was engineering, hardcore engineering. Engineering is not a lot RPO'd, as we know. And for Sad, I'm pretty sure he hadn't had any exposure prior to that with hardcore engineering, mechanical, electrical, and all that. None of that was computers engineering; it was proper engineering. And Sad learned very quickly, and that spoke tremendously of his ability to take up on new stuff even that late. Even given that he had absolutely no experience prior to that, and that was again a tremendous bolster to furthering India's profitability, India operations profitability. That he was successful on Caterpillar engineering as well. And then obviously, as the years rolled by, new things kept happening. Um, and we kept growing, and SAT had always been a pivotal um, piece to that, be it recruiting, be it training newcomers, be it giving me advice on how to go about any new piece. So that all is tremendously appreciated and tremendously valued as well. And like I said again, you start off your operations and your first ever employee slash worker turns out to be as much of a gem as that. It's providential. You can't plan for it. You can't design it. It happens by accident. And we are so lucky that that accident happened to us. And like I said, we are confident that Sad also happens to be as happy as us that that accident happened for him. And that's where we stand as of today. And SAT continues to be a stronghold within our setup within IT, and then even suggesting for things beyond IT. So many things have happened since then. Time period of 5 years is long enough. Sat had a baby. Sat is raising his own family in the meantime, and we are growing. Well, we have already grown so much, and it's good to see all that progress, both on the personal side and the professional side, happening all around all together. Thank you.